Hello, this video has been made to demonstrate how a patient can be cleaned in a patient timeline. This video is itself an extract of a larger introductory video that is available on our website. What we have presented in front of us is the patient filter module, which was loaded from the interactive chart. Please watch the full video to see how we achieved this. It is already pre-filtered on the selection made from the interactive chart to include the selected site in addition to patients with open issues at this site. There are two such patients with open issues, so let's select one. By doing so, all other attributes associated with this patient have just updated. So as you can see, the patient filter itself is a useful tool should data review require a focus such as, for example, an interim analysis based on a specific treatment arm. Now let's display this patient in the cleaning module. Let's now take a look at what's available. In the top left of the display, we have patient summary information. Further below, we have keys explaining what the icons mean. These include the study periods for the patient timeline, in addition to understanding the origin of displayed data, whether this is serif in origin or derived by the program. Lesion information is displayed using respective serif identification codes. However, using the lesion display toggle switch, we can understand both the lesion location in addition to the scan methods used. There is, quite naturally, a lot of information displayed to the end user. This information is required for the program to identify data discrepancies, but it doesn't mean the end user has to see all of it. We will see how to do this shortly. The patient timeline includes a graphical visualization of target lesion size throughout the patient's journey on the study. Let's scroll through this dummy patient's timeline. Notice above the graph are various disposition events. These are not essential to assist with calculations, but it can provide useful context. Now take note of the partial response line. This aids, visually, in determining at which point a patient reaches a partial response. Below the graph, we include tables of supporting CRF and derived information throughout the timeline. As we continue to scroll through this patient's timeline, we can now see they've not only had a partial response, but have experienced a new nadir. As such, we now have a new progressive disease line, which floats at the appropriate position within the timeline. Now, should the patient continue to experience a new nadir upon a refresh of study data, the PD line will reposition accordingly. This makes it visually very easy to establish when or if a patient experiences progressive disease without having to trawl through heavy data listings. As mentioned, we can adjust the quantity of information on the view. You might wish to do this when you gain confidence in the tool. For example, you may wish to view only the program findings and your own user notes. The power of this tool is not only in bringing complex data concepts into an interactive visual, but also the fact the program scans the data for discrepancies. Of course, EDC edit checks and manual data review aim at finding data issues, but this tool finds them automatically and in accordance with published articles. Now let's look at some of the program findings. All findings come with guidance. Now, of course, it would be ideal for the responsible data manager to fully understand the RECIST rules, but the program does offer robust guidance. It is also possible to click the automatic finding text to your computer to clipboard. This can form the basis of an eventual query in the approved data management system. The end user can keep track of their actions and change the status of the finding. While some may argue this is duplication, it remains far more efficient, less error prone, and without undue duplication in the long term. Other types of findings may not be specifically tied to published articles, such as what is considered an acceptable period between lesion scans and eventual response assessments. This particular program finding is one such example where the program can be changed in the settings module based on what the study team feels is an acceptable period. So this is an interdisciplinary tool. Take note that this program finding and others like it play a critical role in establishing site performance trends. There will be further videos on this in due course. The end user can also add their own notes. This can be useful to keep track of discussions. Indeed, because these are saved by the program even after being refreshed with new data, the combination of findings and end user interactions can provide a very powerful permanent data issues log for interims and study logs. This is a massive time saver in the long term. Now let's close down all open issues for the 2 patients on this site. These actions will be reflected in other areas of the tool. Please refer to the full video to see what this looks like. Thank you.